Hey, it's Luke John Harrison. Just before we get into this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to this channel. Make sure the bell notification icon is on. I would love to hear from you, and it only takes 1 second of your day to make mine. Let's get into it. So guys, let me take you through my 5-year vision. Now this came about because my coach asked me a very prominent question. He said, Luke, if we're having this conversation in 5 years' time, what would need to happen both personally and professionally for you to be happy with the progress you're making? And so I took quite a while. I took a few months actually to journal my thoughts down and just write in a blank journal what I wanted to happen in the next 5 years or so. What would really hit me in terms of what would make me feel warm, what would make me feel excited, what would make me feel proud, what would make me feel like I'd overcome something I never ever thought I could do. And I think if you asked yourself that, there'd probably be quite a few things come to mind. It could be run a marathon, climb a mountain, travel the world. It could be something as simple as get in a great relationship, or get out of a bad one and start seeking your freedom again. Maybe it could be something like write a book that you've always wanted to do, or get that great body, or leave a job that you fucking hate and be in something that is so much more fulfilling for you. Now, it's going to be different for every one of you, but I'm going to share and dissect the next 5 years of what I would like in my own life. And yeah, you may think this is a little bit selfish, but you know what? If we started to be a little bit more selfish, we'd be a lot more fulfilled and would be able to serve everybody else around us much better, because guess what? We'd be more excited, more calm and more generous with ourselves, our time and what we're able to give if we just give ourselves a little bit more self-love and appreciation. So over the next 5 years, I came up with a few things that I want to achieve, which I'm putting out there publicly now, which put a little bit more pressure on me to achieve them. And also, this is the vision board that is up in my office. I have one at home as well that I look at every day, and it reminds me, if it's visible, I will remember. If it's not visible, you'll forget. So it all stands off the professional mission that I have and personal values that are very high for me right now and where I'm at in my life. And my personal values are organization, health, athletic performance. It's also coaching and business. Feeling sexual and desirable is a big value of mine where I'm at right now. Maybe it is for you. Music, fun, creativity and challenge are all things that, if I fill my time and my energy with things of that nature or linked to those values, I feel like my life is more fulfilled. And we'll always find time, energy, money for the things that we value highest as well. It's just sometimes we lose track of what that is, and we're doing the things in life that we believe we should do rather than what we want to do. So linked to these values, I have a professional mission. Now that professional mission is to reignite the passion and motivation of those struggling, and to supercharge the energy and the personal power of those willing through my coaching and leadership programs, whether that be online or offline. And so with that in mind, over the next 5 years, this year in particular, as I've done in the previous video, my second book, which again, if this little plan to the right of this is the book plan that I plan to get self-published by the end of the year. And also another thing is starting live events with my current clients, which we're going to be calling expansion experience events, which are going to be live in-person events that help expand people's mental, emotional, physical, all different kinds of different disciplines, resistances, just changing people's lives from the inside out. Rather than having things to be a certain way externally, if I can change and impact someone from the inside, everything outside will be easier to deal with. So those live events are coming this year as part of my programs. As well as that, 12 books studied. I don't believe there's been a year that I've studied a book a month, but that has been quite a goal for a while now. I do read regularly, but I'm starting to find myself read more regularly and expand my knowledge and my excitement through that. I tend to read about half an hour a day, 6 days a week, 5 to 6 days a week. I tend to have a Sunday off. That's just the way it is. But usually after I've had my breakfast, I'll sit with a coffee and read for 30 minutes. I'll set a timer on my phone. And this knowledge helps me share this with you guys and share this with myself and help expand my own life to contribute to others as well. So that's basically it for this year. It's write a second book. It's study and read 12 books, a book a month. I'm already on track for that, thankfully. and start the live expansion experience events, which are quite a lot to put together a full day event on your shoulders, making sure everyone shows up, that it's exciting, engaging for a full day of attention. That's a massive thing. So there'll be 2 of them at least this year going forward. Moving into 2022, I decided I want to experience a country a month. A different country a month. I've wanted to do this for years, but I've just, again, never got round to it. One thing led to another, and priorities change, lifestyles change, and I haven't been abroad since early 2019, I believe it was. So it's been a while. And I want to experience 12 different countries. Short trips away, get myself away, me and my partner, and experience a little bit more of the world. Travel is definitely in my future, no doubt. Also, I want to be speaking at other people's events, because not only am I a coach and I'm an author, but I'm an experienced speaker. I've had a few corporate gigs in the past, and I want to be invited and speaking at other people's events to establish more authority, to impact more lives, to get more opportunities. And it's something that I find a lot of excitement in doing, is speaking at others' events. That's where I really come alive and come in my own, when I'm on stage and I've got to present something which I know is going to be beneficial to many people's lives. I also want to start Jiu Jitsu. The simple fact of this is I want to be harder to kill. And that's basically why. And I think as well, it's a confidence thing. A little bit more skill to be able to handle yourself in a situation should that ever happen. I think that's a valuable skill for everyone in this life, because you're not quite sure whether things might go sour at a point. And I think that's something to always bear in mind. If you are physically confident and capable in your abilities, that says something. And that's also an intimidating thing for me, because I've never done that before. I'm going to get my fucking ass kicked for months probably by people much bigger, stronger, or even lighter and weaker than me, but who have skills to be able to take me down. And that's a humbling thing, to think that I'm prepared for a few months to get my ass kicked by people smaller than me, lighter than me, possibly bigger and stronger than me, and be humble enough to go, all right, I'm a bit shit at first, but I'm willing to learn. So it's a new skill. It's a new skill, and it's a confidence, definitely a comfort zone thing for me as well. And also, I want to earn per month what I was earning in my previous job per year. Now that is a huge goal. That's a huge ask. Am I going to get all the way there? I certainly hope so. And I've got strategies in place to try and get that. I think having a financial target can be very beneficial. It can push you forward. It's not everything, but it's something that I never believed I would ever do in my entire life. And I think this is about pushing boundaries. And if you're ever thinking about the future, you should always be thinking about growth in all areas of your life. Physical, spiritual, financial, emotional. Any way is growth. Growth and progress equal your happiness. So that will be hopefully by the end of 2022. 2023, now my second book, which I'm in the process of writing now, would have been going for 1-2 years at that point. And the idea is to get 250,000 to read the book, 250,000. Now, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet. And I think the great thing is, if you don't know how, then the goal is stretching you. The goal is big. If you know how to do it, the goal ain't big enough. I was told that actually recently, if you don't know how, the goal ain't big enough. And I was thinking, actually, that's quite relevant, because I don't know how I'm going to pull off half of this. And neither should you. If you know exactly how you're going to do it, it's not big enough. You're holding yourself down. You're holding yourself down. So have 250,000 read my book. Now, that's not a monetary goal. That's not like 250,000 bought my book and I've got all that money. It's 250,000 read the book. If I get a bit of money back off it, great. That's not the sole reason I'm writing it. But 250,000, 250,000 lives impacted by a book that I'm putting my heart and soul into means quite a lot to me. Also, I want at least one wrestling match. Now, when I say wrestling match, I mean a professional wrestling match. If you haven't seen already, quite a wrestling fan with Stone Cold Steve Austin tattooed on my arm there. And I want to learn how to work a match. I want to know how to work a crowd, how to take a bump. And that's another thing that is a comfort zone pusher. I currently don't know how to do that. I need to get some coaching and assistance on how to work that. The professional wrestling scene has been in my life since I was a young kid, and I've always been fascinated by it. I love the creativity, I love the athleticism of it, and I want to have at least one performance to say, hey, you could say it's a bucket list thing. I did that once. Hey, I had a wrestling match once, and it was really cool. And the crowd went mental, and we did this move, and it was really exciting. That means something to me. That means something to me. And impacting 1,000 people weekly through coaching. Now, currently, I impact probably in the hundreds. I just want to make that more of an impact. Make that more of a tidal wave of positive impact. And get over 1,000 people every week positively impacted, online, offline, with my coaching, with my leadership, and helping other people become leaders themselves. On to the next one, 2024, which should be 3 years from now. I would like to be reading and speaking, not necessarily massively fluent, but enough to get by Japanese. Now, Japan is a country that I've never been to yet, but by that time, I will have definitely been. I love the culture, I love the art of it, I love how different it is. I've had a few friends who've been and just talked about it. I'm very much into Japanese wrestling, Japanese games. Actually, the biggest thing that made me want to read Japanese was all the retro games that I'm missing out on, which were Japanese-only games, which have never been translated, and I can't play them because I can't read it. So funny enough, that's one thing, because I'm big in my retro games, and I wanted to know how to read Japanese. It's going to be hard, that. So I'm going to have to probably start that off soon. And again, how I'm going to do that, I'm obviously going to need a teacher. I'm going to need some accountability to help me learn that. And also, I want 100,000 raving fans. Now, this is a little bit of an ego thing, admittedly. On social media, if you can hit that 6-figure likes, 6-figure shares, 6-figure views on YouTube, that kind of thing, in some capacity, whether it be combined or whether it be on one source, 100,000 raving fans is not just to fill my ego, although it's a little bit egotistical and it feels good, but it's more so to show that you're making an impact. To show that you're making an impact, you're not just flashing your ass on Instagram, although that might sometimes very occasionally happen. But that's not what gets the likes. My hairy ass, Chewbacca, doesn't fucking get the likes, I'll tell you. 100,000 raving fans in the next 3 years. That's profile building, that's audience building, that's making an impact, that's doing something positive, that's spreading the word. And in the next 3 years, have my 3rd book written and published as well, because I think now I take a lot of pleasure in writing, that I'll always be an author and I'll write a lot of books. So I'm putting it out there. By the next 3 years, I would have written a 3rd book as well. It took me 5 years to write the 2nd book, 3 years to write the next book. The next one after that, I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead yet. But come 2025 is 3 big things, actually. One is the possibility of marriage. I take my time with these things, you see. And I think by that time I'm going to be 40, which I want to look like The Rock. Naturally, without the use of copious amounts of steroids. Not The Rock in Pain and Gain, because if you've seen that monster, you'll know that there's plenty of gear going in that arse. But I mean The Rock naturally. I mean in shit hot shape, a 40-year-old. Fit, strong, healthy, muscular, confident at 40. And who doesn't want to get to 40 feeling fit? I'll tell you this now, even if you are at 40 or beyond and you're not fit, why aren't you saying get to 50 and fit? Get to 50 and be in the best shape of your life. Or get to 60 and be the best shape of your life. Why are you saying you're past it? You're not. It's just your mind's not planning forward. It's always looking back at what was. Looking back is powerful. But it matters more your trajectory. Not where you've been, but where you're about to go. And finally, have the mortgage paid off. 5-6 years, have the mortgage totally off. No debt, 0 debt. That's the only bit of debt I've got actually is the mortgage. And with the correct saving, planning, investing, that'll work. That will work. If I'm not stupid with my money and I focus my attention into serving and giving and impacting, that can work. And that's a massive thing, paying off your mortgage by 40. So the little thing a little guest mantra you could say that I've added to the bottom of this is make clear the vision. Commit to the long game. Trust in the process. And I think most importantly, get excited for the day. That's something a lot of us don't do. What's one thing you can be excited about a day? Imagine asking that question every day for the rest of your life. Do you think your life would be more enthralling and thrilling and a little bit more consistent and feeling good? I think it would. So that, putting it all out there in all its glory, is the 5-year vision for myself. Hopefully you've brought some inspiration from this. You've had a little think about what you would love to do. And if I can help in any way, Send me a message. Maybe I can. Maybe I can help in some way. But you have a great day. And for the next 5 years, think about what you really want, because you can get anything you want with the right mind. See you soon.